So we have this for posterity. And as you find your mat and you find your comfortable seat, I talk a lot about props when I'm in the studio because we have lots of blocks and things. But it's amazing just putting a block under your sit bones when you find your comfortable, easy seat. Raising your hips up just a little bit over your knees really gives your body a completely different grounding experience. It's much more supportive. So if you don't have blocks at home and you have a big book or a couple books, or if you're outside, a cushion, just give yourself that lift and see if the grounding feels a little different in your body. And then once you come to that comfortable, easy seat, find your sit bones, rock back and forth a couple times. I always say they're like golf balls. So they have a front and a back and two sides, and you find the middle. And when you find that middle, it's like, boom, you're in this fabulous car and you don't feel the ruts or the grooves or the bumps in the road. You're just sitting comfortably, you're sitting long, your spine is extended, the crown of your head goes towards the ceiling or the sky. And it allows your body to settle in such a way that you can then turn to your breath and take your first deep inhale, send it all the way down to your belly, expand your belly like a giant balloon. We're not often told to let our belly puff out. We're so used to holding it in and looking thin and model-like. But our yogic breath really fills up that belly with our breath and allows it to rise up through our rib cage, filling our lungs all the way up into our throat lock. And that's where that breath connects and is part of the energy. So take that big inhale and then let it go. Complete open mouth exhale, sigh of relief. Go ahead, nobody can hear you. You're all on mute, make noise, let it go. And then take 2 or 3 more of those breaths. Just settling your body, connecting to the breath, feeling what it feels like to be completely full and then letting it all go. And that's the prana, that's the life force energy. We're controlling the energy with our breath. We're telling our mind that it's the union, the spirit of that breath, the timing of that breath that is going to inform our practice. So take one more big inhale. And open mouth exhale, sigh of relief, let it go. And then on your next breath, go ahead and transition into a tabletop posture. Coming to your hands and knees and stacking shoulders right over hands, hips right over knees. And take a look and see where your shoulders line up with your wrists. And spread your fingers wide and press down into all 10 fingers. And then take a peek back at your hips and see the line to your knees. And the lace side of your feet, the tops of your feet pressing down. And grounding in every single thing that touches the mat, feeling strength and feeling supportive. And then with your eyes closed, drop into a few cat-cows, softening your belly, sending your gaze and your tailbone up to the sky. And then as you exhale, reversing it and expanding, flexing your spine as you look through your arms. And do that on your own count of breath. Inhaling, dropping your belly, soft gaze up. Exhaling, reversing that and finding flexion. And I said with your eyes closed because we're using our mind to ground today. So in your mind's eye, feeling your spine, feeling that it starts at your tailbone and rolls up all of the vertebrae all the way to your cervical spine. Big, long S curve. Use your breath, slow it down. And then move organically. Take some side rolls. Bring that breath into your side body. Move your shoulders one way, your hips the other way. Some big barrel rolls. Your spine loves to move, forward and back, side to side, and then circumduction. Those are all the ways that we like to move through our spine, not only bringing mobility, but bringing the warmth of our breath to prepare us for our practice. And don't forget your neck. That's your cervical spine. Nod your head yes and nod your head no, and maybe take a couple little rolls. And listen to all the snap, crackle, pop. Your body knows exactly what you did to it while you were sleeping last night, or while you were lifting bags in your garage, or maybe you took it last night for evening practice. So listen to your body. And then when you're ready, roll your toes under onto the mat. Take a big inhale, lift your knees, send your hips up and back, press through your thighs, and come into that first downward facing dog. And again, use this first dog as your diagnostic. Move your hips from side to side, pedal your feet. Look at your hands, spread your fingers wide, and press your palms down into the mat. And when you do that, the fronts of your elbows are going to face a little more forward, and you're going to roll your shoulder blades together. And again, remember that head and neck. Take one more inhale and find stillness in your downward facing dog. Press back through your thighs. Take a big breath in. Look to the top of your mat. Come up high on your tippy toes. And take a slow walk. Feet come just behind your wrists. Open your feet about hip width apart. So now your hips and your ankles are in line. Your head reaching down for the mat. Interlace your arms at the elbows and find a rag doll. And just like an old doll that you may have had on your shelf, let everything be loose. Bend your knees generously. Let your head come down towards the mat. Let the breath move your spine side to side, and feel the length go down towards the mat from your tailbone, riding down your neck. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, your fingertips graze the mat. Your feet come back together to touch. Big toes touching, little space in between your heels. Take an inhale, draw your hands up your shins, coming into a flat back, and pull your hips back, the crown of your head forward. Roll your elbows in towards your body sides, and then exhale as you release down, forward fold. On an inhale, bend your knees even more generously. Drop your hips, circle sweep your arms out to the side, reaching all the way up. Coming up into a high extended mountain, tucking your tailbone as your fingertips reach to the sky, interlacing your first three fingers and sending your index finger up to the sky. On your inhale, reach up and lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, take a side body stretch. Bring your hands overhead, your hips go to the left, your arms go to the right. And on an inhale, come back through center. And as you exhale, arms go to the left, hips go to the right. Inhale, come back to center, reach up, and exhale, draw it all into your heart space. Take an inhale, circle, sweep your arms out to the side, and come back to your high extended mountain. Turn your palms opposite, and then take a big swan dive as you exhale and ride your breath all the way down into a forward fold, your head reaching for the mat. On an inhale, bring your hands behind your heels and sliding your hands up your legs, come back into that forward fold, halfway lift. Back down to the mat, head reaching for the mat, bend your knees, circle, sweep your arms out and up, high extended mountain, interlacing your fingers and inhaling as you reach, exhaling, side body stretch to the right, inhaling, coming back through center, and exhaling, side body stretch to the left. Inhaling back to center, drawing all back into your heart space and taking a pause here, closing your eyes, feeling your breath start to change a little, start to warm, bringing your toes back together to touch. Take an inhale, circle sweep, arms come up. Exhale, turn your palms and take a big swan dive, bring it down. Riding your breath to forward fold. Inhale, draw your hands up your shins, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, folding back down. This time, plant your hands down on your mat and 1 foot at a time, come back into your high push-up. And hinging forward, so you're stacking elbows and wrists and shoulders once again, and pull your heels back to the back of the room. So you're lengthening through your spine, lift your hips up shoulder height, engage that core, wrap all of those muscles around your rib cage. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows, come on down, knees, hips, chest and chin all come down to the mat. On an inhale, rise up, pull your chest through your arms, soft gaze into a baby cobra, just lifting through your spine. Exhaling as you release down to the mat. Push back up through tabletop. Roll your toes under, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a big inhale here, find stillness. And then on your next inhale, right leg rises up, lead with your heel and find length from the crown of your head all the way back to your right heel. And then draw through your chest, arch your back just like we did in cat. And then gently placing your foot between your hands, dropping your left knee and coming into a low lunge. And taking a breath here to center and find your balance. And if you have those books or pillows or blocks, I like to put my hands right under my blocks at this point to give myself the support to lift my chest that first time, to lengthen through my left hip flexor. And then planting my left hand down on my block or on the mat, take an inhale and let your right fingertips rise up to the sky, twisting open, turning just through your thoracic spine. And then on an inhale, releasing that hand down to the mat, rolling back up on your left toes to make space. Right foot comes back to meet left foot, high push. Bend your elbows, come on down halfway. Inhale, flip your toes over. Bring your heart through your arms, coming into an upward facing dog, stacking shoulders right over elbows. And exhale, back into your downward facing dog. And back. So all the way up with breath. And let it go. Your next inhale, your left leg rises up to the sky and feeling that same strength, that same long line of energy, and then drawing it through your chest, arching your back as you gently place it between your hands. And then come on down on that right knee and find the length in your right hip flexor through your psoas, into your piriformis, your chest lifts, your shoulder blades roll down. Take a big inhale here, right arm plants, right hand plants on your block or on your mat. Left arm reaches to the sky, turning open through your thoracic spine, gazing up at those fingertips. And then exhale, hand comes down to the block, roll onto your right toes, make some room. Left leg comes back, hinge forward. Exhale, come down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Draw your heart through your arms. And exhale, hips. Come back and up. Downward facing dog. Go all the way up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, right leg rises, and exhaling as you draw it through and plant it between your hands, staying up on your fingertips, keeping that left knee up off the ground, finding the center of your body weight so that you're balanced You're rooted. And then turning back to your mind, sweeping your arms up and finding a tall crescent warrior, using your mind to find your balance. And then on an inhale, circle sweep, right arm comes back, left arm twists open. Inhale back up to your crescent warrior. And exhale, left arm opens up, pivot your back foot. Commit to the lunge in your front knee, your right knee. Warrior two. And then press into the knife edge of that left foot. Open up through your adductors. The more you commit to this lunge and you press back, the more you're going to find that you're centered, your spine lifts, your arms reach out, your shoulder blades come to touch. On an inhale, reach forward, bring your arm to your thigh, fingertips rise up to the sky, side angle. Spin your heart up to the sky and open through your thoracic side. And then as you exhale, coming back through warrior two, turn your palm and reverse your warrior, finding length through your side body. On an inhale, cartwheel your hands down to the mat, find your mat or your blocks, send your left foot back to meet your right foot. Exhale, come on down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And as we go through these chaturangas, always feel that you can take a baby cobra at any time, or your upward facing dog, or you can just skip the up and down altogether and go right into your downward facing dog. Use your mind to inform your practice. Use your mind to take witness of your body and what it needs. Take an inhale, let your left leg rise to the sky. As you exhale, draw it through, gently planting between your hands and staying up on your fingertips or on your block, finding your balance. And as you inhale, sweeping your arms forward, rising into your crescent warrior. Settle into that lunge in the left knee and come up high on your right toes, really activating this right hamstring. And then on an inhale, left arm circle sweeps down to the side, right arm reaches forward, turning your butt, your thoracic spine, your body towards the left. Inhale back to your crescent warrior, and exhaling, pivoting your right foot, coming into warrior two on the left, and committing into that left side lunge. As you inhale, lengthen your spine, grow tall, but commit to the lunge in your left knee. And then reaching forward, left arm comes to your left thigh, right fingertips rise up to the sky, side angle. One more breath opens your heart to the sky. And then exhaling, coming back through warrior two. Reversing your palm and finding length in your side body. Gaze up at your left fingers or down at your right hand, draping down your back leg. And then inhale, cartwheel your hands back down to the mat. Left leg comes back to meet right. Take your version of chaturanga. So whether that's coming down halfway or coming all the way to your belly, flipping your toes and inhaling as you draw your heart through your arms in a cobra or an upward facing dog. And then exhaling, rolling your toes under. Bend your knees, hips come up and back. Downward facing dog. And finding your breath once again. Okay, so let's put all of those postures together. Putting breath to movement. One breath, one movement. Going with the speed of your breath, the rise of your breath. Letting your mind draw through your body. Take an inhale, right leg rises. As you exhale, draw through, and inhale, high crescent warrior. Settle into that lunge. Drop your right arm, twist open to the right towards your bent knee. And then inhaling, coming back around, pivoting your back foot, coming into your warrior two. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, reach forward. Right arm to right thigh, side angle. Inhale, sweep it back at thigh length, reversing your warrior. And exhale, cartwheeling your hands and taking your version of chaturanga. Inhaling as you draw your heart through your arms. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Push back. Inhaling as your left leg rises. Exhaling, it draws through. Find your balance. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, twist towards your bent knee. Inhale, cartwheel open, pivot your back foot. Commit to the lunge, warrior two. Reach forward, left arm comes to left thigh. Fingertips to the sky, side angle. On an inhale, come through, warrior two. Let that left arm arch over your back, coming into your reverse warrior and looking down at your back foot, making room through your ribs. And then as you exhale, your hands cartwheel to the mat, left foot back to meet right foot, hinge forward, and take your version of chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. And then using your breath here, take 2 to 3 breaths, 2 to 3 breath cycles, either staying here in downward facing dog, dropping down to tabletop, or maybe even opening your knees as wide as your mat and reaching your arms and your head forward to child's pose. And using your breath just to calm your heart, to reconnect your mind and your body, to reground. If you're in child's pose and your forehead is on the mat, you can rock it side to side a couple times. And feel the grounding going into your, right through your third eye center. And thinking about the challenges that someone like Sojourner Truth must have gone through, finding her way to freedom on foot, taking dangerous paths at night and going through water just to find her freedom, and how connected her mind and her body must have been. On your next big inhale, come back up through tabletop. Roll your chest under, and as you exhale, return downward facing dog. Hips come up and back. Maybe now your heels are even a little bit closer to the mat. Take an inhale, come up high on your tippy toes, and walk step to the top of your mat. On an inhale, draw your hands up your chest, and exhale, fold. Bend your knees, circle, sweep your arms out and up, high mountain. Exhale, sit down in your chair. Move your hips from side to side, bring your feet out hip width apart to give yourself a nice stable base. Reach your fingertips up to the sky. And I always think of chair pose as, I know there's a chair back there somewhere, and I'm reaching. I'm tucking my hips down, trying to find that seat. And as you exhale, cactus your arms and lift your heart. Inhale back into your chair. Exhale, draw your hands into your heart space. Hinge forward so that you're bringing your chest ahead of your knees. And then as you exhale, come into a revolved chair, bringing your left elbow across your body, turning your thoracic spine, and keeping those prayer hands really close to your chest so you're just turning your thoracic spine. And this is very aspirational. Some people can get all the way across, hinging their elbow on their knee and turning and keeping their hips drop down. Others are a little bit higher and keep their elbow in between their legs. You can even take a block in between your legs and just turn to the block. You need to be reading that connection between your mind and what you want to achieve and what your body is ready to achieve. Take one more inhale, come back through center. And as you exhale, forward fold. So bring your first two fingers around your big toes, your peace sign fingers around your toes, and just hinge over and shake it out. Let your head be heavy. Bend one knee, bend the other. Bring ease and comfort into your low spine. And then on an inhale, release your toes. Bring your feet back together to touch. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, pull your hips back. Exhale, release. Inhale, circle sweep. Arms come up to the sky, high mountain. And exhale, sit back down into your chair, feet hip width apart again. Your hips are coming straight back, looking for that chair, tucking your tailbone so your spine is long and straight, fingertips reaching to the sky, using all of your core strength, connecting your mind to how strong your core is, and then exhaling cactus in your arms and lifting your heart, and then inhaling back into your chair, and then drawing your hands into heart center, hinging forward, and exhaling as you revolve, bringing your right elbow across your body, prayer hands into your chest, turning your thoracic spine, and you want to keep your hips lower than your heart, looking over maybe your left shoulder, and then deciding which options really work for you. Maybe that's too much of a twist and you want to back off a little bit, or maybe you want more and you spread your right arm down your leg and your left fingertips reach to the sky, using the leverage of your arms to expand the twist into your spine. Take one more breath wherever you are. Hands come back into the heart space. Exhale, forward fold. Grab onto those big toes again and shake it out. Let your head be heavy. And then on an inhale, release your feet. Bring big toes together to touch again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle sweep. Come all the way back up, high mountain. Exhale, sit down into your chair. So we've been here, this is our third time. So chair pose should be fairly comfortable at this point. You know how deeply you can go. You want to bring your hips over your ankles so the weight is coming back, your arms are reaching forward. And then as you inhale, bring your weight into your right foot and begin to cross your left ankle over your right thigh. And this might be just fine for today. This figure 4, finding depth and opening through our hip flexor, or maybe your left knee crosses over, finding the bind. Your right arm sweeps under your left arm, finding eagle arms. And you can stay bound, or I need a little tripod today. I need to put that left toe down on the mat, reaching on an inhale, my elbows come up. My exhale, I feel a little bit deeper. Take one more big inhale. Find your drishti, your focus right through your arms. Use your mind to ground and inform your body. And exhale, release. Circle sweep your arms. Shake it out, move your hips. Take an inhale and come back to high extended mountain. To exhale, sit back down in your chair and look down at your feet Find your feet hip width, find the weight in your heels. You can even pick up your toes. Move your toes around to know that the weight is straight back. And then bring your weight into your left foot. Press right over left. Hands come to heart center. Figure 4, maybe that's where you stay today. This is your balance for today. Or maybe right knee goes over left, finding the bind or the tripod. And then left arm circle sweeps under right arm, eagle arms. Inhale, lift your elbows up to shoulder height. And exhale, sit deeper into your chair. One more breath, inhale. And exhale. And using your mind to focus. That's where your balance comes from. Using your mind and your core strength. On an exhale, release and circle sweep. And shake it out. Inhale, come back up to high mountain. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive, bring it all the way down with your head. Release towards the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat. Come back to your high push. Hinge forward. Exhale, come down halfway. Inhale, flip your feet. Draw your heart through your arms, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And push back. On an inhale, your right leg rises. And as you exhale, draw through. Plant it between your hands. Find your balance. And then take your left foot out about 45 degrees and ground down into that foot. Place your whole foot down on the mat. Hinge into your right knee and rise up. Warrior 1. And you turn around so you can see Warrior 1. So your hips are square like there's headlights in your hips and they're pointing forward. Arms up. Take a big inhale here. And then circle sweep, come through Warrior 2. Your legs stay in the deep lunge in your right knee. Your back foot is now parallel to the back of your mat. Arms are wide. And then on an inhale, turn your front toes forward. So your feet are parallel. Your arms reach up into the sky. Arch your back. Send your chest and your gaze up and take a gentle back bend. And then as you inhale, turn your left toes out to the back of the room. Keep both legs straight, your arms out to a T. And then take your breath into your right hip. So your right hip back, reach, 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 reach with your left arm until your body comes parallel to the mat. And then as you exhale, tick-tock your arms to 6 and 12, coming into a triangle. And send your gaze up to your fingertips. Roll your shoulder blade open. And then on an inhale, arms reach back out to a T. Bring your hands to your hips. Take a little hop in with that right foot. And keep it both feet on the mat. The right foot's at a 45-degree angle. The left foot's going forward. Both legs are straight. And as you exhale, fold forward, tilting your pelvis until you can't go forward anymore, and then letting it spill over. Your head reaching for the mat, your arms interlacing behind your back in pyramid pose. And take a little micro bend in your knee. Let your head relax, find that nose to knee connection. And if both feet aren't flat on the mat, take a little more step in so that you can get both feet flat and find that that's your balance. And then inhale, rise up. Release your bind, turn all 10 toes forward. Come back into that big starfish. Arms and legs reaching different directions, taking up all the space from your fingers all the way through your hips, through your toes, maybe even your smile, everything big. And then as you inhale, arms come to a T, your right toes turn forward. Your left hip reaches back. Reach, reach, reach with your right arm. And when you can't go forward anymore, drop right hand down inside your right calf. Left fingertips reach for the sky, coming into a triangle. And triangle is about as two-dimensional as a three-dimensional body could get. So pull your hips back, maybe even stick your booty out a little bit to find that reach, to find the strength in your core. And if your side body is crunched down, slide up your leg a little bit. It's more important to find that deep core extension than it is to touch the ground. And then inhale, arms come back out to a T. Hop in with your left. Little bit of a 45-degree angle in your left toes, right toes facing forward. Find the bind and fold forward. Pausing at halfway, pulling your hips back, and then letting your head release down to the mat and coming into your pyramid. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, release your bind. Rise back up. Take a big step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, come all the way up, high extended mountain. Exhale, swan dive, bring it all the way back down. Inhale, draw your heart through your arms, halfway lift. And exhale, release. Forward fold. Plant your palms down on the mat. Bring your feet to the back of your mat, high push. And exhale, take your version of chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And exhaling, downward facing dog. And pressing back. And then everybody dropping down into their tabletop. Stacking shoulders and hands, hips and knees, the laces side of your feet. Back down on your mat. Maybe a cat-cow to release your spine from the twisting and the standing postures. A barrel roll might feel really good here too. And then sitting back on your heels and shifting to the right or the left, bringing your legs long in front of you. Coming back to sit on your sit bones, sitting tall and flexing and pointing your feet, and then circle sweep your arms, reach up, ground through your sit bones, reach up through your fingertips, find length through your spine and length through your legs, coming into this full staff pose. And as you exhale, bend your knees and fold forward. And by bending your knees, you allow your body to fold over your legs without rounding your spine. So what you're doing here is counterbalancing, counterposing all of the other postures that we did. So even if you can only reach to your ankles or your shins or your knees or the mat next to you, you're folding your spine, giving that length from your sit bones into your spine. And then inhale, sit back up, reach your arms out to an imaginary stranger. And with that support, exhale all the way down onto your mat, rolling one vertebra at a time. And when you get there, bending your knees, bringing your feet into hip width apart. And then lift your hips and roll your shoulder blades in and find the support of the mat on all your vertebrae, pressing your whole back into the mat. And windshield wiper out your knees. And then bring your arms out to cactus arms or out to a T, whichever is more comfortable, whichever way you can get your shoulder blades down into the mat. And on an inhale, take your knees to the left, stacking one on top of the other, coming into a supine twist, and then turning your gaze away from your knees, turning your gaze to the right. And allowing this twist to unwind your body, as opposed to the twists we did earlier that compress your inner organs and activate the muscles through your spine. Let this stress of gravity against your knees begin to pair your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, allowing surrender and relaxation. And then inhale, knees come back to center. And exhale, send your knees to the right and turn your gaze towards your left shoulder. Just go back to your breath, allowing those deep inhales through your nose, open mouth exhale, and then drawing your knees back into center, wrapping your arms all the way around your knees. Rock side to side a couple times. Send your legs straight up in the air and point and flex. Reach between your feet. Happy baby as you press your spine onto the mat and you open the soles of your feet to the ceiling, gently rocking back and forth. And then inhaling and drawing your knees back into your chest. Take a big inhale, bring your forehead all the way up to your knees. Tiny little ball, full compression. And as you exhale, releasing everything down to the mat and finding Shavasana, your final relaxation. Wiggling your toes and your fingers, releasing all of their tension, your ankles and your elbows. Feeling the breath rise and fall from your toes all the way up through the crown of your head, and then letting it come all the way back through your body, sort of like waves on the ocean connecting one to the next. Switch your whole face up, wrinkle your nose, and then let that relax down and move your jaw from side to side. And open your mouth and take a couple swallows, and you'll feel how the tension leaves your throat lock as well. And then rock the back of your head on your mat. And finding this fullest expression of relaxation at the end of your practice on your mat. Time to go to your breath, back to any intention you may have set for your practice, back to thoughts of the joy of truth and meeting your challenges by grounding your mind. When you're ready, drawing your knees back into your chest, using your breath to roll onto your side, gathering your knees into your chest, coming into a fetal pose to give yourself a breath of gratitude for making it onto your mat this morning. And then as you exhale, coming back up to your Sukhasana, your comfortable, easy seat, letting your hands rest on your thighs, crown of your head reaching for the ceiling, your shoulders soft and relaxed. Let's feel our practice together with one more big inhale as our arms circle sweep up to the sky, and exhale, draw it all into our heart center. The light in me honors and sees that same big light in each of you, and it's my privilege to guide you through today's practice. I hope all of your challenges are easy ones. Namaste. And that's your yoga today.
Thank you, Daryl. Great class.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thanks,
Thanks
Daryl.
so much.
Thanks.
And I remembered to record.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now how do I turn it off is the question. I'll figure it out.
The little button on the bottom should be red that says recording. And if you click that off, it should go back to gray and then you won't be
Bye,
recording
Noelia.
anymore.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank
See you
you,
next
Daryl.
time.
Yeah,
you
next
time.
time. Bye.